I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements. I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking any air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect mine to go. I can't show it on the football. It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
It is officially September. It is officially week 1 of the 2024 NFL season. It is officially the Fantasy Millionaires redraft leagues draft tonight after the show. It is officially time to build a DFS lineup in stacks of cash. With draft season almost over, it is officially on. Stacks, we got an hour till our draft. Where do you want to start?
How about we start with the drafts from this past weekend? You and I were both involved in our home league draft called the BFFs, Barely Facebook Friends. And we got together. We were cooking lots of meats. We had ribs. We had pulled pork. We had chicken. We had jalapeno sausages. We had Italian sweet sausages. I mean, it was just a smorgasbord of male bravado and bullshit and smack talk and jokes. And I realize now my stomach is hurting. And I was thinking, did I do like push-ups or sit-ups? No, I laughed so hard with you motherfuckers. And we golfed the next day too, but I laughed so hard that my abs got a workout in. You guys were great, man. So it's the boys, it's Christmas time right now. We're opening presents. Nothing's broken yet. Your cousin hasn't come over and ripped off your Transformers arm yet. You still got your whole team pretty much good to go. And and it's on. So I'm jazzed.
Yeah. It's the most magical time of the year for so many different reasons. Probably chiefly so that as soon as you're done drafting, you think you won the fantasy championship. Now is really the greatest time of the year because you have just an abundance of hope. I mean, you're just
everybody feels great right now.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think now with the Fantasy Millionaires Dynasty League, thankfully I have a Dynasty League again. I have that. I only have that Dynasty League, and then I have 8 redraft leagues. And what I will be doing for at least the first 3 weeks, but there's no greater hope than now, is just imagining winning all of the leagues, what I'm going to do with the money. And it's just, it's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah. And it's also fun because you get to talk smack against your boys and you get to go toe to toe. In our home league, we have some new blood in the league. We have one of our older friends and, he definitely was just kind of the winds of the draft went with him. We threw names out there and he was chasing him. At one point, Ricky Pearsall was shot. Thankfully, he's okay. Apparently, he grabbed the gun, returned fire. I mean, guy's a baller. But we found out he was shot, and this new guy didn't know. And somebody next to me was psychically driving him to try to draft him. Just kept saying like, "Oh man, Ricky Pearsall, man, he's got some value, man. What a great pick, And I was like. He's like, should I pick him? Should I pick him? I was like, no, he's fucking shot like 10 minutes ago. Like, don't pick that guy. So just shenanigans, guys, things that are just perfect. Stogies and beers. And
is that what he was doing over there? I never really got the full skinny on that. So he was sitting next to him and just
pretending that
he was pretending he wanted to draft Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, I kept dropping his name and being like, oh man, this guy's got some value. He's like, I already got Debo. You know what I mean? Might as well double up and just get Pearsall and just have the whole 49ers. I mean, if something happens to Debo, and then our boy Mark, the new guy, the old head, was looking over and he was just like, Ricky Pearsall, huh? Oh, he's coming up in my queue. Oh, might take a look at him, man. What do you think? I was like, no, he's been shot. So
well, I would have to say the worst moment of that draft was right after I went, I think in the 8th round for Christian Watson. Because all the players in between my picks, I had 8 more picks until I was going to draft a QB, and you immediately declared, see, this is why you guys are going to let you guys are going to let Mike Collins win the league again. You're going to let him get Jordan Love. And I still haven't explained to you how livid I was. I couldn't believe you were doing that. And afterwards I brought it up. It was discussed, but I honestly thought, and you said that you weren't doing that on purpose. I honestly thought you were doing that on purpose. And I was like, I can't believe that he's sabotaging his best friend, his partner. I thought it was Fantasy Millionaires for life. And you put that out there. And of course, the new guy drafts a backup QB in Jordan Love.
I didn't think he would do that at all, because I looked at the board and
that one had me.
Yeah, I felt bad.
Mode.
Yeah, I felt so bad. I didn't bring it up.
Time in the draft, it's happened now, and you caused it.
Well, the first time I didn't cause it. Second time, I might have led him a little bit, but that wasn't my goal. I looked at the board and everybody had a QB. You know what I mean? Right. Everybody had a QB. And so my thought was, no one's going to take a backup QB right now in the 8th round. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Board. What did he have? Who was his QB?
Let me scroll down and look at his team. Oh, no, he's got Jalen Hurts. That's why I didn't think he would. Like, see, if I drafted Jalen Hurts last year and then I didn't draft another QB all year, I just had one. So that my mindset was totally in my world. And I actually was trying to prove a point to Mark, because Mark kept asking me, why does this guy win the league every year? And I was just like, boom, that's it right there. That's how it happens. Not to put you down, to be like, this is it. Like, this is happening right in front of our faces. And then when he picked it, I just was like, oh man, I gotta shut the fuck up, man. Because that was not some official apologies on the show.
Did you feel bad when that happened?
Immediately. It was not a trying to get that to happen. Just, it wasn't me psychically driving Mark, because he had Jalen fucking Hurts.
Psychically drove him directly at 60 miles an hour.
I didn't know why he was that mentally fragile. Like, no one else grab him. I didn't know he was that weak. If I would have known, wouldn't even have said a player's name the whole draft. I didn't know.
Listen, I can hindsight 2020.
My bad.
Here's the thing that I just didn't think. Here's for me draft etiquette, and you don't abide by this in general anyway. But there's guys in the draft that talk about who's available.
Yeah, all the
players. Guys that don't, and I hate it when people talk about who's available, because it's like you're and it could be draft strategy. You are tilting people when you talk about who's available, and especially, because that's the kind of thing that happens. Somebody who's not paying attention, in this case, somebody who had designs on, if he doesn't win the league, sabotaging a co-commish with history in the league. And I do think that was part of his motivation, was like, I mean, he's coming into this league, probably with just that, like, a little intimidation. We're podcasters, so there's he's an agent of disruption.
Yeah, you're right. And I didn't realize because here's the thing, he said, you're the guy to beat in this league. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not at all the guy to beat in this league. I said, Mike's won 4 times. I said, I'm just the biggest mouth. I just draw attention to myself. I said, Mike's good. He's like, well, break it down. Why is Mike good? And so I didn't think it necessarily was like, here are his guys. He drafts these guys. I didn't say that. Oh, we have the best in the business joining us in there. Oh, bonjour, Bo McBride.
Yes, bonjour.
Bonjour. No, I just explained to him. I was like, he does great on the waiver wire. He goes in, he does his thing. I was like, he's got a solid build. I said, even last year, he got 2 players hurt that were starters. He still won the championship. So my brain really was not thinking about intelligence giving to him. I was just, just sharing the boasting. I got caught up. He was naive, and just listen to what I said. I was naive. I was sharing things openly with him that I should not have been sharing. And like you said, he's an agent of destruction. I didn't think that. I thought he was more of a neophyte, given his draft strategy and what he did with the draft. Kind of weak, but that was wild.
I had to respect his balls. Like, I had to respect.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was going to do.
It really was just like he was just like a big middle finger to you, Cash Collins.
Yeah,
I know that I know you're going to take him because I was 100% about to take Jordan Love. I drafted Christian Watson. You know, you've already seen me go F-bomb ballistic in another draft when I got sniped on him.
Yeah. It's all true.
So I had to use some of my inner fantasy zen in that moment to not get tilted. And I already was excited. I felt good about my team. So I was like, you know what?
Team's good. I like your team.
Yeah. I was already just like, okay, well, I'm gonna play the real late round QB game now. Like I've been advocating, and was able to get Caleb Williams and Jared Goff. So I'm not
I love
tripping
your
too
team.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, Bo, by the way, thanks so much for the rush send on the spice rub. That was
Oh my
clutch.
gosh.
Yeah.
That was the best ribs in the world.
Yes.
Because of you, though. Yes.
Yes, there was rave reviews on the ribs.
Yeah. And you got a couple left behind. Have you eaten those already?
I'm saving them for during the Fantasy Millionaires draft. I have them ready to go. I'm eating the final two.
Oh yeah. Is Bo talking to me? I'm in trouble in his league. Oh man. I don't know what I did. I'm sure I did something wrong. Yeah. Ribs were so good. I was so excited. I'm not in Bo's league in any of these cooking things, by the way. If we're talking about the Cookmaster General, you know, the salt and spice, the king of all things hot and spicy in this world, it's Bo McBrayer. But the ribs were just, I mean, you know,
Bo's in the Fantasy Millionaires league as well. So
yes,
we T minus 48 minutes till we get it on in another one. So this is my second to last online. Then we have the Analyst League.
Yeah, I've got two more drafts
on Wednesday. Is this so? You only have two more?
Dos.
Dos more. I have Trace.
Yes, you got one more.
I have my Thursday night during the game draft, which is
that's always a mega crazy one. I mean, that's
my second favorite league. Even
that's
Crab Cakes has been ascending ladder. It's a strong third, but I can't. It goes BFFs, the Big Money Keepers League, and then Crab Cakes for me, because the Big Money Keepers League is a bunch of gambling degenerates. And honestly, I was thinking about it at the BFFs this past weekend. We should just model what they do with the, like, you get this is what they do. So the board's up, right? And then you just start making prop bets on players.
Makes sense.
The only reason why I didn't want to do it is that you need a nerd to write down everything. Someone's got to be in charge of the record keeping, and it gets a little wild, and that it's kind of sucks to be that person. But if we find somebody who's willing to take on that role, maybe next year's BFFs, we could introduce what they do in the Big Money Keepers League, which is they just go bananas. They just throw out like $20 bets all over the place, and you end up betting like $500-$600 on all your different bets, you know. And hopefully you, like, that's the thing. It's so wild because like you win some, you lose some. You kind of, by the end of the season, you're kind of just hoping it comes out as a wash because you've put so much money on the table,
right?
But there are people in that league that will like lose all their bets too. So it's so great. Like their payout at the end of the year, the collection comes due, and it's like they owe like $800 for league buy-in. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Got to mortgage their kid's future.
I know, and it's great at Christmas too. Like it's yeah, I know. I like
it's
it.
Rough. That's a great league. Well, I'll just say this. I want to officially say I've been trying to get this league for years. I'm banned. I'm banned from the league because I've made some bets through the phone to Michael, and I've won them like 5 for 5. I've won up 100 and some bucks. So I'm banned. Also, because I'm a podcaster with him, his reputation precedes me. He got the commissioner to almost step down from. He stepped down from the league last year because trades were getting banned. I mean, this league is intense. It's high stakes. It's a lot of sounds like man boys getting their feelings.
It's a bunch of old friends too, so it's like the BFFs. You know, right. It's like it's very competitive. There's a lot of history, you know, and they all just talk a lot of S to each other. They talk a lot of S to me. I was at the moment I came into the league, I won second place 4 years in a row, but I haven't won. and they all work in tandem to make sure I never win too. They hate me. They don't ever want me to win.
against you.
And then they talk so much ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the season, man. It's draft season. I love it. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Like you said, hope is at its crescendo, and it's only kind of downhill until you maybe win and you get up at the top of the mountain, which is really difficult to climb through. Nowadays, most folks are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Bones, what's going on, my man? I love all of this because in 3 days it starts, right? It starts in 3 days. It's 3 days away from us right now. In 72 hours, we'll be watching football in the mere moments, 73 hours and 23 minutes, whatever it is. We'll be there, and so here's what we're going to do today. We've talked a little bit about kind of the leagues and what we're doing and got a little more to go, but we're going to kind of break down a little mini preview of the show. We're not doing a full show because we don't have all the things to kind of, wind up the machine.
Trades to get paid.
No trades get paid, and then we're going to kind of leave off the eviscerate yet from your team. We don't have enough data. Probably the first couple of weeks, we're not going to eviscerate that many people. We'll be mitigating more people than eviscerating. But then we're going to also be elevating, giving you guys some guys to play. There's some edges this week, and we'll definitely talk some DFS stacks of cash. We've got our diamond, our gold, and our silver, all values that you should be able to kind of plug into your GPP lineups and make a difference. So with that being said, let's talk about kind of some of those waiver wire gems that are available in your leagues. And I am going to pull up ESPN Our League just so you can kind of get a look at the values, the percentages of where people are at and what's going on with the rostership for these players. So I do have the teams up here. This is the team. We can go through our teams real quick before we do that. This is your team. I'll narrate here. You went Jamar Chase, Strong, Travis Etienne, Mike Evans. I love it. Kenneth Walker III, Trey McBrizzle. You've got a lot of McBrizzle. I like this pick right here.
All McBrizzle.
Terry McLaurin, Zamir White, Christian Watkins, D-Hop, Caleb Williams, like you mentioned, Jacoby Myers. By the way, we'll talk about Jacoby. He's a waiver wire gem, bro. 50% rostered in ESPN leagues. It doesn't make sense. Okay. He's a top 36 wide receiver. Jaleel McLaughlin, he's not rostered either, by the way.
So that's my guy for waiver wire gems that I wanted to talk about, but we can come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back. Goff, Bigsby, Chiefs D, and then Tyler Bass. Out of all of your team, real quick, just give me like two of your favorite picks at their value.
In almost every my favorite pick in this draft is Trey McBride in the fifth.
I think that's so sexy. Pick 55.
I'm taking him in the fourth in a lot of leagues. So, and you thought I was going to take him in the fourth.
Yes.
And the board let me take my gamble because I was looking at the board and I was like, you know what? If I could get Kenneth Walker and then get Trey McBride, I'm going to be. That's why I wasn't tilted out when I lost Jordan Love, because I was just like, I got Trey McBride in the fifth.
You're bomb.
Yeah. That was my favorite. That was my favorite pick of the draft. And then in every draft so far, I don't think in the Millionaires League tonight I'm going to be able to get Zamir White. Hopefully I can get Christian Watson. I'd like to get him. Definitely targeting those guys in every league. So those are like, I'd say Cash Collins guys for this year, the late round guys. I got a lot. I got Trey McBride, and then I got Zamir White, Christian Watson, and Jacoby Myers. Those are your
crew.
Guys.
That's your crew. Yeah. I like it. All right, here's my team. I'm Jesse Blanks over here. CD Lamb fell to me at number 3. I can never say no to CD at 3. That's smash. And then I have got Derrick Henry with his touchdown upside, Cooper Kupp and Devonta Smith, two of my guys with wide receiver 2 theory. Rashee Rice, he's not going to jail yet, right? Yeah. So let's keep him alive. I love him as my wide receiver 4
tonight in the Millionaires draft.
What do you say?
I'm hoping I get him tonight in the Millionaires.
Right. You hope to get him. He's a beast.
Yeah.
And then we've got Raheem Mostert, went upside here at my RB. Kyler Murray, love it. Deontay Johnson is my flex 5th, like coming off the bench. Jake Ferguson, can't believe he was available. Chase Brown, Blake Corum. I think these two might be my favorite picks. Chase Brown and Blake Corum, just in that later rounds.
I love Jake Ferguson to Blake Corum right there. That's just perfect.
Yeah, that's how you do it in those middle rounds, getting the value. And then my guys, Demario Douglas, Dontavian Wicks, both those guys are under 25% rostered. Demario Douglas is, I think, 15%, and Dontavian Wicks is 20%. So we'll talk about them. And then Greg Dortch is like 1% rostered. So, the human Dortch will not be stopped. So I'm excited. These leagues are big money, thousands of dollars on the line, and it's how it's going to be. So I'm really excited.
Me too,
Albert,
brother.
welcome, my friend. Welcome.
Yep, Rice Watson, Samir White.
Those are watch out. If you're near him, Mark, I don't know what spot you're drafting. I think you're further away from him, but yeah, Collins will be sniffing all those guys.
I have the first pick in the draft, so I will. Here we go. First pick in the draft, I am going CMC.
Christian McCaffrey's already off the board. Yeah,
and where you draft is also just a huge deal. It's like I've already done some mocks. This is the only league I had one. And I have some Breece Hall in other leagues. If I didn't, if I had McCaffrey in one other league, I would go Breece Hall. But I'm excited to get one share of CMC this year, just for funsies.
Yeah. No, I'm happy for you. Speaking of shares, Baker Mayfield 30% rostered. Let's talk about waiver wire guys, right? If you need a guy, if you're unsure about your quarterback this week, if you just you got one QB on your team, maybe his matchup is not that great this weekend, and you're unsure of him. Baker Mayfield's going to play the Commanders. The Commanders gave up like 69 touchdowns last year to wide receivers. They made every QB look amazing. They made every wide receiver look amazing. 30% rostered. I'm going to talk about him later when we get into do a little bit of the DFS talk. But I mean, 30% rostered. You can't. I don't think you can go wrong in this game. I think the Commanders still are not very good at the DB position, and I think in general, they're going to be exploitable. I like Mike Evans this week a lot for you, Mike. I think he's always a smash, but I think he's got 2 touchdown upside potential, and I love Chris Godwin too. So, how do you feel about Baker if you're struggling at QB, or if you need a guy because your QB is not up to snuff?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is first show, so I don't have really strong thoughts yet. I hope you don't have to play QB carousel. There's my guy. If I'm going to pick the guy who's also on the waiver wire at 34% ownership, I will take him all day.
Me too.
Like I can't believe the market has pushed him so far back when you have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua as your starting wide receivers. So
I do think their total is if not the highest on the board, one of the top 2 or 3 totals for the Lions versus the Rams. They scored a lot of points in the playoff game. This is going to be a high scoring affair. I bet you they score, over 50 points. And so, 34% rostered. Yeah, that Baker Mayfield was a bit of a ruse to see if you were paying attention, kids, because I like him. He's fine, but I'd much rather have Matthew Stafford in a game that has a high upside potential, and a game where he's going to, not favored. He's going to be trailing, so he's going to need to throw the football, and you can see that, like you said, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. I love them both anyway. So, all right. By the way, just some honorable mentions. Geno Smith this year, he's going to throw the football. They have a new OC. It's not going to be the same thing as last year. 12% rostered, 12.7. Stash him for later. I think he throws a bunch in the Broncos game, honestly. But he's somebody who, if you're looking for a QB and you need to just kind of keep somebody, Geno is gonna, I think, do a little better than his performance last year in that kind of stifled offense.
Yeah, I was very high on him last year, so I'm willing to. If I'm looking for that second backup QB, I think he's someone I'm kind of excited to see what the new offense looks like.
Yeah, and his weapons. Kenneth Walker's a beast as a running back. He can catch the football. So can Zach Charbonnet. He can catch football too. So you've got people in the vicinity of him. If he's getting run over, the line's not that great. He can dump and kind of chase and see how that kind of. If they're losing a lot of games, not projected to win more than 6.5 games. So the Vegas totals are them losing. That's a lot of chasing and negative game scripting for the football. And so JSN, Metcalf, ding, 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 ding. So yeah, I like that as a kind of stash and dash for later. Running backs. Now, interestingly enough, for the RBs, there are some RBs that are available. I didn't know if you had checked this out earlier, but for my math and my numbers are correct. your boy Jaleel McLaughlin, only 40% rostered.
I thought it was less than that. It's like 39% or something like that.
I think it was. I think I rounded up because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go hunting for him too down here. I can't even find.
Oh,
him.
he's on my team, so I don't know where.
No, I mean in the percentage, yeah, 39 points, so around 40%. He is much more efficient, and in his last season, just look at his average, his yards per carry, 5.4. If you go and compare that to the starting running back, who Javonte Williams, 3.6. Ay caramba, that's not sustainable. That is gross. So, yeah,
I want to go off on this because of all the things that I was researching for waiver wire gems. While there's still time, if you got an IR spot and you can fill it up, and this guy's available, JMC, I would drop whoever. That last guy on your bench, or take if you have the IR spot and you can open up a spot, dude. Okay, I saw this a while ago. Someone was pointing out that in Sean Payton's coaching career, his entire career, I think I'm going to fudge it a little bit, but it's something along these lines. Every single year that he's been a coach, the pass catching back has finished like RB 26 or better. It's something absurd, right? Jaleel McLaughlin is the pass catching back in the Sean Payton offense. Then meanwhile, he was a rookie last year.
You mean the Alvin Kamara role? Is that what you're speaking of?
And so you kind of have this idea. Okay, Jaleel McLaughlin. Okay,
whatever.
Somebody last year, here's the stats for him as rookie. Number 9 in points per this is from Player Profiler. Okay, as a rookie, number 9 in points per opportunity, number 10 in yards per route run. Number 4 in true yards per carry. Number 6 in juke rate, one of my favorite stats. Number 13 in breakaway run rate. He is a smash at the end of a draft, dude. And if you already drafted and he is still out there, do not walk, run to the waiver wire and get homeboy.
Yeah, if you can pick him up, you don't have to put a waiver claim in. Do it now, right this second. Unless you're in a league with me, and I've probably already done it. So, yeah, no, I love that call. Some other guys too that I noted were not really rostered, and it was intriguing to me. One of them, was it Chuba Hubbard? Chuba, only 62%. I know 60, but that's still like 38% of people are not on Chuba. Pick him up. He's going to start for at least a month. Like a month. You're going to get a starting running back for a month. And yes, his season totals are terrible. He's not great. It doesn't matter. Just get him on your team for a couple weeks. He'll be starting. He'll be in your flex, or he'll be a flex option. Just that doesn't make any sense to me. That just is stupid. It's dumb. So that was wild. Anybody else jump off the page to you that needs to be? And are you an Antonio Gibson truther? He's at 42.6%.
Yeah, I am. At the end of the day, that's why I feel like this show is hard to do, because the landscape's going to shift so much in this coming week. But of all the people that were in this 40% neighborhood, the one I was really interested in was Jaleel McLaughlin. So, and they got rid of Samaje Perine. So it's like, that was another thing too. It's like, he's the guy, right? So,
right. What about Rico Dowdle? I can't even find him on the page. He's on the second page of ESPN now because they got Dalvin Cook signed.
I thought he was, okay.
They're at 35% for Rico. That seems
that's another guy for sure. I didn't notice it.
Good. That's not good. Get him.
He's that low too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's stupid. Zeke is not great, by the way, and he will get touches, but eventually he's not great. I think Rico Dowdle has upside. And Dalvin Cook, man, he can steal all his touches. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that was silly. And then just some handcuffs. Jordan Mason, 17%. Right now there's no Elijah Mitchell. He is out. He's out indefinitely for the rest of the season. Apparently, he is like break glass, never touch him because he breaks because his shoulder is separated at practice last week. He's done. So Jordan Mason becomes Christian McCaffrey's backup. So just if you're a Christian McCaffrey truther, keep an eye up for Mason. He's not rostered. I can't even find him here, but 17%. I'll see if I can put him into the search bar. Maybe the search bar will have seen him. There you go. Yeah. He's available. Oh, no. Bubs picked him up. Never mind. He's not available in our league. 17.3% rostered. So just CMC insurance if you're into that kind of stuff. But that's it. That's all the guys that I saw. Anybody else for you that tickled your fancy?
I guess you have an IR. You could stash Keaton Mitchell too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ray Davis is 17% rostered. I didn't know that was a thing. So he's the backup running back in Buffalo. I think just given that, there's Ray Davis. I would roster him. He's only 14% rostered. I think he'll be picked up. We'll be talking about him in a couple of weeks. Maybe not right away, but he should probably be on a team if you got an empty spot. I like his little smug look. That was a nice little look he had too. So wide receivers transitioning, hard transition. Wide receivers. I'm interested in your guy Jacoby Myers. Why is he 50% rostered? Is that because of the quarterback situation? It has to be Gardner Minshew fever because Myers. He last year he was wide receiver 26, right? How are you not going to have 72.8 rostered? Oh, he's got rostered more now. Okay, he jumped.
Yeah, because it's not the end of the draft season, right? So
I checked it today. It was 50%.
There's no way he's going undrafted.
Well, yeah, it was wild. That was making me lose my mind when I did my research earlier. I was like, holy, how is this guy unrostered? Okay, well, it's been picked up a little bit.
We talked about him in the sleepers, so
yeah, we did. What about I saw that Khalil Shakir. Yeah, there you go. I'm saying it wrong. Maybe they updated it, but when I checked it, he was under 50% rostered. Was that what you saw as well? Let's just check.
No, I'm not seeing.
Yeah, 47.3%. That is crazy. How is this a thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
This isn't real. This is not real. You need to draft him in every league. He should be in the 11th, 12th round of every league, maybe the 10th if you're in an experts league. Like, you need to get this guy if he's available. Like, immediately seize him.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That doesn't make any sense. Curtis Samuel's like 55% roster too. Both those guys.
I've got kind of come to the decision on the Buffalo wide receivers that he's the one I want to.
I like that.
Yeah.
One of my guys who I've been drafting late in all rounds, who people are ignoring, is Rashid Shaheed, 45% rostered only. Another one, just an undervalued guy. Michael Thomas is gone, suspended by the league, probably for PED use. And Rashid Shaheed, a little questionable, right? So he's not playing at the moment. But you got to roster this guy. He should be rostered in every league. I know Bo likes A.T. Perry, but I think I like Rashid. So I'm gonna go with Rashid Shaheed.
Oh yeah, man, all day.
Yeah, sure. doesn't make any sense for me. Anybody?
The cool thing, the guy I'm gonna say next to has the same feature, but I'm one thing kind of was slipping my mind in drafts was Rashid Shaheed. That's a tongue twister name.
It is.
He is the punt returner and kick returner, right? Like. Right. That's it. Now that sucks if you're drafting Kyron Williams, right? Because you don't want your RB1 to get injured doing that.
Right.
But meanwhile, with the new rules this year, we haven't seen it. Nothing's really happened in preseason, but it just sure looks like somebody like a Rashid Shaheed is going to take multiple punts and or kickoffs to the house.
Right.
And this is a guy that also is catching passes. So this is a total new feature to the 2024 NFL fantasy landscape this year, is a late round guy that, is wide receiver 2 on their team and is getting the special team work, and there's only a few of them.
Right.
Rashid Shaheed is one of them.
Yes.
My guy Marvin Mims is one of them.
Ooh, Marvin Mims. Let's go back.
Marvin Mims is like 16% owned or something
I
like
saw
that.
that. He was under 20% as
So
well.
he's out there in your leagues for sure.
Yes.
10%.
11%. Right. Wild.
And they got rid of Tim Patrick,
Yeah,
who
he's gone.
I thought was gonna probably have a good year, but
Yeah.
no, he's not for
He's
the Broncos.
gone.
So it's Marvin Mims' season, and Marvin Mims is the punt returner and kick returner. And he was a rookie last year that everybody was really excited about. Started out on fire the first 4 games, has total deep ball threat.
Yeah, he does.
He's a burner.
Mhm.
So
DFS darling.
very, very, very excited to get him as a gem.
Yeah, no, I love that. My guy who actually did draft in multiple leagues, and we'll draft him again tonight, given the opportunity. Dontavian Wicks is only 20% rostered. This is a glaring faux pas, ladies and gentlemen. This needs to be fixed immediately. The Packers are going to be throwing it and hoeing it all around, and Wicks will be a big part of that. So I don't understand what people are not seeing. I know there's a lot of guys there, like all of them. I think you should have every single guy should be drafted on all 4.
I told you in one of my leagues I have Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, and Dontavian Wicks.
I sweat your team.
Yeah,
I like that. So and then there's just a couple other guys too, like Demario Douglas. I do love him, and I know that New England Patriots are going to suck, but he's going to be the guy who I think gets most of the catches. Him or Polk, I think it's going to be him. He's going to be their slot receiver. He's coming off of 561 yards, 50 catches as a rookie. I could see him getting 70 and 750 or 7. He averaged 11, so maybe 770 and 800. And 4 or 5 TDs. So I really like him as a late round dart thrower. You're not going to have to start him very often, but I think when you do, you'll get value. So
I'll tell you what, bro, if we're gonna be ready for this draft in 24 minutes, we better go to the next joint, because we gotta build a lineup.
I'm good to go. I'll be ready. Don't worry. Okay. All right. Tight ends, Cole Kmet, 45% rostered. That's just kind of,
Cole Kmet.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. I can't even find him here. And then Musgrave.
I like Juwan Johnson too. That's a late round guy that no one's drafting.
Well, we know that both the Packers and New Orleans do use their tight end. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay. Let's talk a little defense real quick. I like the Raiders defense against the Chargers. The Chargers are going to throw like 7 passes. You know what I mean? And so the Raiders are not a good defense, but I do think that they're a good play if you need to pick up a defense and play just for a single game. The Bengals, I think, are the best ones to do that with this week, but they're rostered.
The Bengals for sure this week, but in our DFS build, I already was working on that. I want to do the Raiders, so I love
me too.
They're like 3 Gs.
Yeah, they're cheap. I think 2.8 is what they might be.
Okay.
Yeah. So
something like that.
Yeah. All right. So elevate, mitigate, eviscerate.
Eviscerate.
Yeah, I know eviscerate. I'm elevating. We said it before. I'm elevating Baker Mayfield this week against the Commanders. If you want a quarterback to play, I know you like Stafford. I'd play him too, but Stafford or Baker Mayfield, I just think the Commanders suck ass so bad. I think Baker could get you 3 TDs. He could get you 23 points, 25 points. You're good to go. That's what you need. Just good old standard. Outperform his ADP, and I mean, last year in our league, he was 10th. So don't sleep on Baker. Anybody for you? Any QB? Your guy guess is Stafford, right? That's your guy to jump in there.
I don't know. I mean,
Stafford or golf? Who would you do?
It's a tough one to say elevate. I mean, I guess the person I'd be probably looking to elevate this week, maybe even would be Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, either one of those guys. I think Caleb Williams playing Tennessee.
They're bad.
They're middling, they're I think Stafford will because he's good, a good game. But the Lions, I think, better defense.
That's
So
it's true, but they did give up a lot of points to wide receivers last year because they're in shootouts. So
Goff is playing the Rams, and I think that that is a really bad secondary.
Yeah.
So I like Goff this week and I have him. And I'm going to be having to pick between Caleb Williams and Goff in the BFFs.
Yeah.
I might go. I think I'm going to go Goff.
I think you should.
Yeah.
All right, Elevate. I know some people are doubting Raheem Mostert because let's call him David. Devon Hachin is through the roof in his drafting in the second round. But don't sleep on Raheem Mostert, baby. Don't sleep on Raheem Mostert. He had 18 touchdowns last year. I'm projecting him for 12 touchdowns this year. I think he's a good flex option, a second RB. I'm starting him. I think you should start him. The Jaguars are not great against running backs. They're not great against anybody on defense, honestly. And that's part of their problem. So I think Raheem Mostert is a full go this week. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, kids. Get out there, and Raheem must start. I see what I did there. Okay, I'll stop. I'll turn my mic down. Are you a Raheem must start fan this week, Collins?
Yeah, I am for sure. I think when he's healthy, we were saying it all offseason, and for some reason he has, in my own personal rankings, he's been in places where I like to draft other people, namely Zamir White, who's my elevate. But we were talking about it throughout the preseason. He is listed on the depth chart as the RB1. Like, it is still his offense. Like, he ain't going nowhere. 20 TD season last season. So I say when he's healthy, week one, start him.
He's averaging 4.8, 4.7 yards per carry, and that offense is so quick paced. They don't have a lot of wide receivers. They're going to be running their wide receivers, running backs. Like Achin's going to be running out of the slot, and so I think Mostert is safe. He's safe and sound. I'm not even worried at all.
I do too.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of different touts and people I like in the industry. They're like, I'm not leaving. I've been getting. He's the most undervalued person in all the draft this year.
Yeah, I used him last year. I'm going to use him this year. So yeah. All right. Moving on. I am a big fan of Jackson Smith-Njigba this year. And our boy Tyler Lockett he's a little bit struggling right now. He's not been practicing. He has not played all preseason. He's got a leg injury. The coach said he hopes he plays. Like, whoa, I hope he plays too. You know what I mean? Like, that would be good. He's a player. You want him to play. But he's not looking solid. And so I like Jackson Smith-Njigba in this matchup. I think he's going to get fed. I think he's going to need to get fed. I think it's going to be actually a little bit of a good game. I think the defenses are both kind of poor, and I think Bo Nix will surprise a little bit and be slinging it. Your boy Cortland Sutton, I think, is a kind of sneaky play too in this matchup. So, but I think Jackson Smith is a full go. If you got him in your flex, you got him later in the 7th, 8th round, I think you start him. I think you play him this week. So that's kind of where I'm at. Are you a Jackson Smith-Njigba? JSN, as the kids are calling him. Are you a fan this week?
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Yep. I think he's somebody that is going to take a big step forward this year, and I think he's going to take a big step forward this week.
Yeah. All right. A couple of honorable mentions. Hunter Henry, if he's healthy to go against Cincinnati. Cincinnati gave up 105 receptions, over 10 million yards. No, over 1,000 yards and 6 TDs to the tight end. So Hunter Henry's a play for New England if they have any play at all. And then we talked about the Raiders. We'll talk about them later in the DFS. So mitigate. Do you have any mitigates this week? I've got to mitigate.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, that's the hard thing, is like, it's hard to pick. I
pick a guy. I got a guy.
All right. Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah. He's playing against the Jets.
Right. That's a good one.
The Jets, they were number 1 or number 32. If you're a QB, they're the best against quarterbacks and against wide receivers. So, like, also in tandem, I don't think Brandon Ayuk should be a full go. I would not play him. He's going to be in the role against Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner doesn't follow Deebo Samuel around the offense. Deebo Samuel is going to be in the slot. He's going to be in the motion. He's going to be no. That's not going to be Sauce. Sauce is going to be straight up in Brandon Ayuk's face. That's what he's going to do. And Sauce is one of the top 3 corners in the NFL, hands down. So I can't start Brock and I can't start Ayuk. Neither one of those guys. They're both mitigates, and I know they're big names, the guys you drafted to play in your first game. But against the Jets, I bet you Brock Purdy gets under 20 points, and I bet you Ayuk is under 12. So I guess you can play him, but I think Ayuk has a chance to get under 10 too. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I don't like either of those matchups.
Yeah, I'm with you. 100%.
But do you have any RB mitigates? I kind of combine my wide receiver and QB because I want to kind of explain it. But there's a couple RBs that might not be rock steady this week. Like,
okay, who do you not like?
Well, just looking at how things played out, I don't really like either one of the Tennessee running backs. The Bears gave up 3.8 yards per carry last year, which was actually one of the better rush defenses. Only I think 6 rushing touchdowns, and then their longest run that they gave up all year was 36 yards. And so, both Pollard and Spears are kind of those little scat backs. But I can't. Which one are you going to start? Right? Which, you feel comfortable starting Pollard? Do you feel comfortable starting Spears? I kind of don't. I think the Bears are a better defense than people give them credit for, and I do think the Bears are going to win this game. So I'm just not comfortable. I don't think
you want to see how it shakes out first.
Yeah, and I think the Bears defense is I think it's good, and they're not going to give up huge plays against them. So it's not like either one of these profiles for either one of them. Look at 4.5 yards per carry, Pollard 4.0 yard. These are not speed burners who are going to take an 80-yard play to the house. No Chris Johnson's here for Tennessee.
If I had to pick one, I'm starting Tony Pollard.
I think so too. But I think you get better options on your team. If you got Deontay Johnson or somebody like that to go in your flex, I'm not starting either one of them. So that's kind of how I'm looking at them. And then I hate to do this because his package is ever expanding, but Taysom Hill, I might have to sit him this week. I can't really trust him to start.
John Johnson's going to be back. That was that was why he was my late gem. Is he's just slipped in drafts, and then meanwhile he's the starting tight end. So Taysom Hill is the goal line quarterback on that team. I mean, he's got his own role. He's the man who plays every single position.
Yes. So I just like to draft him because it's fun, and it made Denny angry when I did it. So, all right. Those are it. And I'm kind of not. I'm wary with defenses. Dallas. Cleveland versus Dallas. I think Deshaun Watson's terrible, and so I think Dallas is going to kind of run against Cleveland, and so Cleveland, I'm not starting them. I think CeeDee Lamb and Dak are real still. So, yeah. All right. Let's do a little lineup building now. This is the DFS stacks of cash. I've got a Millie Maker lineup right here. Let's talk about our gold stack. Where are you thinking for gold? Diamond. Where are you going for diamond? What's your thoughts here?
Diamond would probably be for me CJ Stroud, Nico Collins. I think that's in the diamond range. So what are our tiers again? Diamond,
gold, and silver.
I want to do the silver. My silver stack is Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin. Is that gold or silver? Because they're going to be.
No, I think that it's mine is
What's your gold stack? So my diamond is Nico Collins, CJ Stroud. What's your
So my diamond is it's not convoluted, but it's Josh Allen at 8K with Kincaid and Shakir because you can get it for 18.9. So I'm double stacking them against Arizona, and Josh Allen's only 8K. So I like that.
You want to?
I'm just showing you what it is. And then my gold stack is Joey B and Jamar Chase at 6.5 and 7.8 to total up at 14.3. And then my silver stack was Baker and Chris Godwin, and they're at 11.4. So
yeah, so this is 11.3.
yeah, you're right there. Yeah, this is your silver stack.
Do you want to roll with this?
Yeah.
As a silver stack?
Yes. Running back, I want to go Kenneth Walker at 6,100.
Okay.
He's going against the Denver Broncos defense that gave up like a couple thousand yards, maybe 7 million yards last year to running backs. Let me actually look up what it was because I don't want to sound like an idiot. The Broncos gave up 2,000 yards, 2013 actually, 12 touchdowns. They gave up another 589 yards receiving with 6 more touchdowns, so 18 total touchdowns to running backs. So they like to give up the points. They were third worst or third best if you're looking to exploit 25.9 last year. So I know Sean Payton will make him a little bit better, but I like Kenneth Walker. And this is, I'm going to blow your mind here. I want to run it back with your boy, Jaleel McLaughlin, because
That's who I wanted to do too. He's
49. Right, yeah, he's 4,300. He's so cheap. It. Yeah,
I love it.
I thought you'd like that. This is what I was messing with earlier. And now for tight end, what do you think about Evan Ingram in a matchup against the Miami?
That's who I want to do. That's who I had decided were simpatico.
Okay, let's go get the Raiders in because we already know we're going to do the Raiders. They're 28. Now we've got $20,000 to play with for 3 different positions.
Do Godwin and Justin Jefferson.
I'll go Justin Jefferson. I will go Godwin. And then our flex is 5,800. So we could go Kincaid. We could go try to look for upside here.
Myers, I think, is around there. Where's Jacoby Myers is like 5.
I'm looking at the 5s. Hold on. He is 5. Let's see if there's anybody else. Would you rather have Shalil Kahir? I'm saying it's wrong. Khalil Shakir. I'm mixing them all up. Yeah.
That would fit into your diamond stack. I like it. I do think he's going to get a ton of PPR work.
Yeah.
I've landed on him as the guy on that offense.
Cortland Sutton is a run back in this game against.
Seattle does have a good secondary. They got that 6. They got a
big guy. They do. They got a big guy. They got big old Biggins. How
about Zamir White at 5,700?
I love that. Let's do that. I like that. Let's build that out because we're playing the defense. We have the defense. It's now we're correlating our flex to our defense. I like it. It's a good play. All right. We've got Jaden Daniels, Kenneth Walker, Jaleel McLaughlin, Terry McLaurin. So we built a stack. We got a run back in Godwin, Justin Jefferson for flex and 6. And then we've got Evan Ingram, Zamir White, and the Raiders. If we win the Millie, Mike, we're splitting it 50-50. You saw it here. Yeah. I like it. Josh asked, what do you think of my 16-man PPR team? He's going to do some roster baiting here with us. Let's do it. Dak and Caleb. Yep. I like that. Chin, I love it. Zeke, not so much. CD, I love it. More, yes. Njoku, good. Tank Dell, yeah, he's okay. I like that. But I'm not a big fan of Zeke. I'd find another RB. Honestly, that's just my take. What about you, Collins? You want to roast Josh real quick?
Yeah, I like that you got Njoku too. I think that's the end of the tight end tier. So, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Zeke either.
Yeah. Okay. Here is my tweet for I love this is from Chuck Bass. All right. This is my rated X tweet. It says, watching the draft chat roast a pick that you just got sniped on. Mm-hmm. So
it's so funny. I love that.
Tim Robbins is so great.
I love it.
Yeah, so I just Chuck's great, and that was one of my favorite ones. So that is my 3 tweets / rated X.
Do you have a backup one? Because I want Chuck to win, but I just sent you mine.
I do have a backup.
Okay, good. All right, this is from Sleeper. They always have good ones. Choosing my career, throwing a dart at a dartboard. Me choosing my fantasy team, playing chess.
Bro. Yeah, with Ronaldo and Messi. That's absolutely right. That's 100% right. Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
That is such a great meme right there.
Yeah, I love this one. This is a good one. Okay. I mean, we can have Chuck win.
Chuck wins. Chuck wins.
Yeah. This is. I'll have me win. It's not viral or anything yet, but it says when my wife asked me why I joined yet another fantasy football league. So let me get this turned up here, and yeah, here we go.
We're sitting here again. Talking about the same things. We're sitting not very loud, but
No, sorry, I'm trying to turn it.
Talking about the same things.
He says we're here talking about the same things. Sitting here talking about the same things. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, he's so funny.
All right, 5 minutes. We got to get ready to go into the Millionaires draft. Here we go. It's war, baby.
All right, it's war. All right, so peace, love in the streets and the sheets and all that stuff with your posse and your crew and your family. But in the draft, I hope all of the bad picks come to you and nobody else but you. And so help me God, I'm going to beat you all. Is that what we're supposed to say, right?
Yeah. Pain, heartache, destruction, chaos to all your fellow drafters and all your opponents in week 1. Peace and love everywhere else.
Everywhere else. Yeah.